Happy Wednesday. It is hump day. The week is almost over and the weekend is near. And I'm going to be talking about Ukraine. It seems to be very newsworthy here, and it's something from CNN Politics, also from the Washington Post as well, is reporting this. And also, I guess, Insider, The Hill, and a few other places. Tried clicking on the New York Times, but it's behind a paywall. So Ukraine war crimes, and there are some war crimes that Ukrainian people have done. But here's one of them. The U.S. believe Ukraine ordered assassination near Moscow. I don't care if that is blocking my icon. It doesn't really matter. But U.S. believe elements within Ukraine government authorized assassination near Moscow. Sources say this was the reporter that was assassinated. They believe the target was her father because he was a, I guess, mid-level tier within the Russian government. But the U.S. intelligence communities believe the car bombing that killed Dara Digina, hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly, the daughter of a prominent Russian political figure, Alexander Dugin, was authorized by elements within the Ukrainian government. Sources briefed on the intelligence told CNN. U.S. was not aware of the plan beforehand, according to the sources, and it's still unclear who exactly the U.S. believes signed off on the assassination. It is also not clear whether the U.S. intelligence community believes that Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky was aware of the plot or authorized it, so they could give him some plausible deniability. But even if he didn't order it, he still is a representative of Ukraine. He is the figurehead that we go to when we have grievances with his country. That is what he was duly elected for. So regardless if he was aware or didn't even authorize it, he is still responsible for his country's actions. That's just my opinion. But the intelligence finding, first reported by the New York Times, would seem to corroborate elements of the Russian authorities finding that the car bombing was pre-planned. Russia has accused Ukrainian nationalists of being responsible for the attack, which Ukraine has strongly denied in the aftermath of the explosion. Ukrainian government officials did not immediately respond to CNN's request for comment. Color me shocked. Actually, color me not shocked. Why would they respond when you're accusing them of killing a bystander, a reporter, a daughter of a prominent, what did you say? Prominent Russian political figure. Why would they comment on that? The National Security, CIA, and State Department declined to comment. They could have been behind it. They could have provided the means, the training. U.S. intelligence officials believe that Dolgina was driving her father's car on the night that she was killed and that her father was the actual target of the operation. One of the sources says Dugin is a Russian ultra-nationalist and a philosopher who has been fierce proponent of Russia's war in Ukraine. A friend of Dugin also told Russian state-owned news outlets TASS, or TASS, shortly after the explosion, that the car she was driving was her father's. Just days after Dugina's death, the Russian authorities accused a Ukrainian woman of remotely detonating explosives planted in the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado and then driving through Pskov region into Estonia to escape. Olesko Danilovov, Secretary of the Ukraine National Security Council, immediately denied the allegation. We have nothing to do with the murder of this lady. This is the work of Russia's special services, he said in August. Zelensky advisor Mikhailo Podolyak also said at the time that the Russian accusations reflect the fictional world the Russian government is operating in. Seems like someone's living in a fictional world, and it doesn't look like it's Russia. Intelligence surrounding Ukrainian involvement, if accurate, would signal bold expansion of Ukraine's covert operation to target well-known political figures just outside of Moscow. To date, Ukrainian strikes inside Russia have been largely limited to attacks on fuel depots and military bases in cities along Russia-Ukraine border, like Belgrado. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But the U.S. does not have good visibility into all Ukrainians' planned strikes, sources told CNN. Ukrainian official told CNN that the U.S. intelligence community's finding has not been broached during a meeting between the U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan and Zelensky's chief staff Alder Yermak in Istanbul earlier this week. It is not clear whether the issue was raised most recently by President Joe Biden in a phone call with Zelensky on Tuesday. Spokesperson for the National Security Council member declined to comment. Dolgina, who was 29 when she was killed, was a public figure in her own right, frequently appeared as a commentator on Russia's TV networks pushing anti-West nationalist narratives. As CNN previously reported, Dolgina also ran an English and Turkish language website called United World International, which itself was part of a broader propaganda effort known as Project Lakhata. The State Department has accused the project of deploying online trolls in interfere with U.S. elections. U.S. sanctioned both Dogan and Dogan after Russian invasion in February, accusing them of spreading propaganda and acting to destabilize Ukraine. Yep, that was Alex Jones. So it seems like we got evidence that Ukraine's not the good guys we make them out to be. They're just as guilty as war crimes as all the other countries. Go us. Go us backing people that are potentially linked to illegally murdering people, crossing state lines, as a callback to a previous case in the United States. They literally cross state lines with a capital S, now a lowercase s, and assassinated this woman. Sure, the target may have been her father, but doesn't change the fact that they cross international borders into a sovereign country to assassinate a Russian member or a Russian citizen. I mean, I get it. Russia invaded their country, so all is fair in love and war is what they say. But, you know, if you really want to be a good guy, you'll be above such tactics. You'll be above such pettiness. Well, maybe not pettiness, but you would at least try to be on the board. Now, I get that these type of operations happen on a regular basis. There's no one country that's immune to this type of tactic, unfortunately. But it does shed light that, once again, Russia was right when they made accusation towards Ukraine over the senseless bombing of this lovely lady. I don't know if she was lovely, but I was told not to speak ill of the dead. Not that I always agree with it, but this lady who was murdered senselessly as a war victim in an ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. I have really nothing else to add other than, you know, maybe when Russia speaks, might want to take a listen to see what they're speaking, to see if there's any merits. Kind of brings some, I don't know, legacy, I don't know what the word I'm trying to come up with, some grievance or some credence to that they had security issues prior to the invasions and were simply ignored because it's Russia And certain people in Europe think that they own Russia. It's only a matter of time before they could go into Russia and rape Russia of all of its valuable resources in the name of a global economy through globalist tactics. Leave a comment down below on what your thoughts are. Smash the like and subscribe button on any all platforms or just a platform that you're currently watching. But most importantly, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.